Alright, what's up, y'all? Today's a good old Monday. And I wanted to come on here and talk about how to not project your traumas from past partners onto your current one. So, I know that we've all been there. You're either currently there or you've been there before, but we all go through it where, not intentionally, hopefully, but we will project our past hurt, past trauma, past behaviors, anything like that from our past relationships to our current one. And that harms the relationship that you have with your current person, because you're not starting on a clean slate, and that's not fair to you nor the person who you're in a new relationship with. So first things first, I would say before you even got into that new relationship, you should have been working on yourself. And including that, you should be learning your triggers. So anything that sparks a trauma response and what you did in your past relationship, you need to work on that so you're not bringing that negativity into your current relationship. And what I mean by that is, say your ex cheated on you. And I'm going to say man because that's what I be dating. That's going to be easier. But you can plug this in for anybody you're messing with. So say my ex cheated on me, and in my current relationship, I'm checking his location 24/7, questioning him about his whereabouts, what he's doing, why he's not texting me back, yada, yada, yada. And my trigger is because he's not talking to me constantly, I feel like he's cheating on me. Mind you, my current has never cheated on me. He's never given me a reason to think he's cheating on me. None of that. I'm just bringing my past trauma into my current relationship. Mind you, this has nothing to do with that new man. So why do you feel like it's fair for you to be doing that to whoever you're dealing with? It's not. And that's a sign that you still got some healing to do. So, if you're finding that you feel some type of way if your partner is taking too long to text you back and your mind automatically goes to negativity, that's your trigger. So you need to work on that. You need to learn that both parties deserve time to themselves. They're not obligated to be glued to their phone and text you back every second of every day. And that's also not the healthiest in my opinion either, because that leaves nothing to really talk about throughout the day. You're having meaningless conversations. But that's a story for another video. But yeah, recognize your triggers. Recognize something that your current partner may be doing that you're like, maybe I shouldn't automatically be jumping off the deep end. Like, if you sit back and like, are they really giving me a reason to feel this way, or is this something else? Because a lot of the times, yes, the person you may be dealing with now may have similar qualities, because sometimes people like the same type of people, so they may have similar qualities. But if this person has not done you any wrong, there is no reason for you to be passing such harsh judgment on them or thinking so negatively about them. And if you do, then maybe you just shouldn't be in a relationship with them, because our relationship, in my opinion, should be positive. That person should be helping you grow. It should be healthy. There shouldn't, the negative sides of relationships shouldn't be cheating or nothing like that, or like you getting slashed, or I'm not trying to, but you know what I'm trying to say. A healthy relationship shouldn't involve any of that. No toxicity, nothing. It shouldn't be causing you a lot of stress, excessive stress over little things. Like, you shouldn't be arguing over little stuff constantly. We all have a little rough patch, but there shouldn't be a year we're arguing every day about nothing. Like, it shouldn't be like that. So if those stuff is happening, okay, that's a whole different story. But I'm talking about, this man has done nothing to you, has given you no reason to believe he's done something to you, or is doing something to you. You're just scared because of what happened before you. Listen, we all bring trauma We all bring experiences in other relationships. We all have that. So it's not fair to your new person to have to make up for what your ex did. Why? Because they are not the same person. So I need you to recognize that these are two different people. Two different people. And I can speak from experience that I've had to learn that very hard, because I would love to bring up, well, I act this way because he did me this way. And I had to realize, like, girl, you're going to let an ex-man still control how you act? With a new man who has done nothing to you and will never do nothing to you? You're going to mess up your blessing, your current blessing, because you're so stuck on what so-and-so did to you. And he's not even in your life no more. So why are you letting him control any part of your life? That makes absolutely no sense. So I had to pull myself together, because I don't deserve that, and my current person doesn't deserve that. So yeah, recognize that both of them are two different people with two different personalities, two different characteristics, two different actions, two different mindsets. Like, hello? You should only like, how do I explain it? You should only bring up issues that are regarding you two, or anything that has to do with him, that he made you feel a certain way or nothing. Anything an ex-person did, you can, obviously you talk about that in the beginning, like, oh yeah, I've been cheated on, what, yada yada yada. But the insecurities and stuff that comes along with that, you need to heal from that before you're jumping into the next relationship. Because any other relationship you get into, even if it doesn't work out with your current person, you do not need to bring that into a new relationship. It doesn't matter who it is. It's not fair to anyone. Somebody just tried to cut it from me. I'm working on not honking at people. Because, what? Anyway. Patience. But yes, recognize that they are two different people. And go from there. Hopefully your new person will help you in that growing aspect and help remind you. But I mean, it's honestly not up to them, because these are your issues. It's great to have a person who is there to help you move along, but I know it can also be draining to the other person, because they're tired of sticking up for themselves when they haven't done any wrong in the first place. So I advise, just work on all of that before you get into a relationship. Obviously, you can't always recognize all your triggers when you're out of a relationship, so those things will happen, but you need to be willing to work on those things once you realize that they're happening. Because if you don't, you will not have a healthy and happy relationship, unfortunately. And that shit is what it is. Like I said, everyone has past trauma, past experiences from other relationships, but it's not your current person's duty to make up in areas that your ex lacked in. They had nothing to do with that. They didn't know you at all, and it's time for you to move on with your life. Trying to move on with your life, make better connections, and get your healthy relationship, because that's all we want at the end of the day. So I also forgot to mention that you need to know the difference between having your guard up and not being vulnerable, because you also learn from past relationships. So it's okay to not let all your cards show in the beginning. You can slowly reveal those, but you need to have some type of vulnerability with your new person, because that's how you grow a real connection with someone. If someone is trying to constantly knock down a brick wall, and they're going to eventually give up if nothing is falling out, because who wants to continue gnawing at someone who clearly doesn't want to talk about anything or express themselves or anything like that? People are going to get tired, and that's okay for them to. You can't sit there and be like, oh, he didn't try, he didn't love me, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, when you had a wall up the entire time when he was trying. You can't blame that on him. That's not fair. So, like, I understand the reasoning for a guard, but again, it's not your current person's problem because they didn't create the problem. And vulnerability in a relationship is very important. If you truly want to get to know someone, if you truly want to know if y'all are compatible, you have to learn someone and they have to learn you. And the only way you can do that is by being vulnerable. I know that you want to make sure that you are okay, that you aren't heartbroken again. I understand all of that. But honestly, when you are trying to find love or you're in a relationship, you're taking that risk. And that just is what it is. Sometimes risk brings reward, and sometimes risk bring learning curves. And that's just is what it is. It's life. But you can't prevent your heart breaking 24/7, because if you continue to have a guard up, your heart won't really be breaking. You'll just be moving on to the next person, because you didn't put your all into something. And anything you do in life, if you put your all into something, you'll reap something from it. It may not always be what you intend to get from it, but you will get something in return, whether that is a reward or it's time for you to learn something new. And I've had to learn that. I'm still grasping that and understanding that everything will not always go how I planned it. But I'm learning, and that's all I can do. And yeah, so don't always have your guard up, okay? Because it'll be harder to really have that love that you're searching for because you refuse to let anybody in. And eventually, everyone's going to stop knocking because no one wants to put up with that, and they shouldn't have to. Don't have a freaking cement wall up. You can have a fence and take peck by peck down. I'm not opposed to that. But you got to have some vulnerability here, or you're never going to have real connections. And that just is what it is. Yeah, recognize your triggers and understand that they are two different people. And if their current person didn't give you a reason to feel this way about them, don't, because it's not fair to them. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. That is how to not bring your past traumas into your current relationships. And happy, healthy relationships all 2025 and beyond. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.